Hello, my name is Melissa Mays, and I run What Are You Fighting For here in Flint, Michigan. And we are a proud part of the Coalition for Clean Water. Our group has been fighting for the exposing of truth on the water crisis since January when we received the TTHM notifications. So we wanted to dig in a little further. We were able to work with Aaron Brockovich and Bob Bocock to explain what was happening with the water. And through this testing process, we found high levels of lead in Leanne Walters' home, who has toxic levels of lead, or she had toxic levels of lead in her water. And her 4-year-old son came up with lead poisoning. And we found lead and copper in our home as well, even though we didn't have discolored water. My whole family is suffering the side effects and consequences of lead and copper poisoning as we speak. So, what I want to do is actually start answering some questions and kind of give some survival tips on what to do if you still live in Flint, and also how to handle the medical aspect of what's happening now. First of all, yes, we fought it. We fought. Just a small group of citizens fought, got the research, got to work with Virginia Tech, do all the citizens testing, and found out that there were high levels of lead in the water due to the highly corrosive Flint River water coming from the plant, tearing up our infrastructure. This being said, we have switched water sources at this time. We are back on our clean, safe Detroit water. However, our pipes have suffered irreparable damage. In about 14 months, there was about 12 years of life taken off of our infrastructure from the highly acidic, caustic water. Um, so that is how the lead began leaching into our homes. Now, this problem is still going to exist for how long we don't know. The first test is to get all of the Flint River water flushed out of the system, which we are told could take up to 4 weeks. And beyond that, the Detroit water will hopefully slow down the destruction of our infrastructure to where there will be a slower and lessened leaching of the lead to come through our taps. The reason I say this is because it is imperative, it is so important that you use the water filters. Whether you picked up a tap filter from United Way or one of the other organizations, or if you went on to Zero Water and you were able to get the discount, they were offering 50% off and free shipping through Zero Water. Right now, I'm going to switch to share my screen to show you a couple of things. Right now, Zero Water is offering a $5 coupon. If you don't want to order online, you can go into Walmart and get $5 off coupons for Zero Water. We got a Zero Water pitcher in our home. It was a 23 cup pitcher that will be able to last us for a little while. They have this is the one that we have, and we got it for 50% off and free shipping. They have great coupons and deals on a lot of different filter replacements and everything. I trust them because they do have some of the highest ratings for removing lead, copper, TTA gems. They have meters that come with them that show you the total dissolved solids, and they take it down to zero. So it is actually it's pretty great. And so far our water has shown zero total dissolved solids, which is going to be your your lead, your salts, your dirt, your whatever is coming through our broken pipes. So I recommend them, but also there's right now they are, if you just go to zerowater.com, you'll see that there is a thing for entering a coupon code, which is all one word, Flint Water, and you can also print off coupons. So if you do not have the budget or the ability to contact local places such as Artesian Water, who have gotten to know quite well, there's several other places, Wolverine, Culligan, there's other places you can call to get a whole home filtration, which is what I've been pushing because switching water sources is what put us here. We are going to be switching water sources again next year. and it's the Karagandhi Water Authority. There's a lot of questions. It's unproven at this point. We'll see what happens. I highly recommend that you contact some companies and look into whole home filtration if you can. The biggest thing now is protecting your family. So please, number one, please continue to use filtration. Now, the next thing that we need to talk about is testing. Right now, the county and the state are doing finger prick testing for kids ages, I guess, 5 and under. It was 7 and under, but now we're hearing 5 and under. So it's great that they're trying to see if there's lead poisoning. However, blood lead level testing is only accurate after the initial, basically the first 48 hours of testing is when your blood lead levels will be the highest. What happens after 48 hours is the lead starts to break down into your system. Some you may flush out when you pee, but the rest of it goes into your bones, your blood cells, organs, and other places in your body. So just pricking your finger is not going to give you an accurate statement as to how sick you are. So I'm going to tell you, because my family's been going through this since April when we found out we had lead poisoning, I'm going to tell you what to look for. Unfortunately, lead poisoning can be asymptomatic. With my kids, we started worrying about anemia because that is a side effect of lead poisoning. They have the dark blue circles, as I do too, under my eyes. um Fatigue, that's the biggest thing. Fatigue, brain fog, where you can't quite get the words out, and you didn't have problems with it before. You can't quite concentrate. Your kids may seem like they're jittery, or they can't focus. They may seem like they may have ADHD at this point when they didn't before. So changes in behavior are things to look out for. These may not present in everyone. So, what I'm telling you now, as a mother and an activist who has learned way too much about water systems in this past year, is if you lived in Flint from April 25th, 2014 until now, and if at any given time you consumed the water, you drank the water, you cooked with it, you showered in it, you bathed in it, you washed your clothes or your dishes in it, please, please go see your doctor. Now, for people who don't have a doctor or insurance, we're working on something to help you. But right now, you need to go to your doctor, and I'm going to show you some testing that you need to ask for. So, we're going to go back to my screen share here. First off, that's what are you fighting for? That's what we are. What you need to do is you need to talk to your doctor about getting, blood and your blood lead levels and copper checked out. That's me. So this you need to do as we watch my computer struggle. Glad we can edit some of this out. So with your blood cells, one of the things you need to look for is this right here. Basophilic stippling. What this is it's associated with increased red cell production, and it's commonly seen when there's increased polychromatophilia. What you're going to see is your red blood cells are not going to look like the other ones. They can look through this and look for basophilic stippling. What this is right here. See how it looks different? It's a this right here, very strong sign of lead poisoning. So that right there needs to be checked out. So when you're getting your complete blood panel done, what that's going to do is that's going to check for anemia. Certain types of anemia, like this, with severe forms of anemia with lead poisoning, you can see the basophilic stippling. If your red blood cell count or white blood cell count is low, or both, like in my son's cases, that is an issue. That's showing that there is damage to the blood cells and to the body. So these are just kind of screening tests to say, okay, do you have anemia? Is there blood in your body? Okay, next step, we can keep testing. One of the other things that you can do is right along here. I'm on the CDC's website, and lead toxicity. Now, venous lead level testing is useful for screening for recent or ongoing exposure as opposed to past exposures. So this is my problem with the little finger prick tests. First of all, the lead level screening is for recent or ongoing lead exposure. Now, what's going on right now is the county and state are testing blood lead levels. We no longer have Flint water. And again, like I said, your blood lead levels are highest during the first 48 hours of initial exposure. So, what's bothering me is if you just go to the CDC's page, highlighted up here, it says, given the greater risk of contamination using the finger stick method, an elevated blood lead level obtained through a finger sticking should always be confirmed through venipuncture. Okay, so you need to take a tube. There is the finger stick testing, that's great, but that again is not a diagnostic test. Blood lead levels respond relatively rapidly to abrupt or intermittent changes in lead intake. So if you started drinking the old Flint water now, it would spike and be high now. And it shows this for relatively short exposure periods. So that is an issue. We've been exposed for 16 months, but now we're on a different water source. It says for individuals with high or chronic past exposure, blood lead levels often underrepresent the total body burden because most of the lead is stored in the bone and may have normal blood levels. So even if your kids got tested through the city or state, please take them to your doctor. You need to go look for these additional testing. This right here, the anthracite proto, I'm going to just butcher this, the EP, along with zinc I'm not a doctor, that word, is considered the best screening for asymptomatic children. So here's the issue. It's not good enough for a finger stick test, okay? And even if you do the venipuncture and you get your blood lead levels, it's not going to tell you how much damage has been done. Keep in mind that the damage done by lead poisoning is irreversible, and it's something you need to find out right away. Also, this does not just affect children. I cannot stress this enough that anyone of any age and any length of time that they consumed the Flint River water through their taps, through their showers, through cooking, through your coffee, through steam, you need to go get checked out, and not just a finger prick or a little tiny blood lead level check. You need to be checked for anemia and other signs. So there's other evaluation methods, which is the complete blood count. And that's useful for patients with extensive exposure, which would be Flint citizens because we were exposed for 16 months. There's basophilic stippling, and also there's other different types you can look for. These are called lead lines. So long bone, basically x-rays, they show lead lines, increased density on the growth plates, especially kids of any age who are growing. You'll be able to look at these. You can look at the x-rays right here and see the lead lines. So you need to ask your doctor for your blood lead level, get it checked out anyways, ask for a complete blood count, ask them to look for basophilic stippling, and go on and ask if you can get an x-ray to look for lead lines, especially in growing children. So I would highly, highly suggest you get all these tests done, no matter what your age. We do not know how long this lead was coming through our taps, and we don't know how high it was. Due to flawed testing by the MDEQ and a bunch of other improprieties done by the city and the state, we will never know, unfortunately. So this is something that I stress. I really, really want you to listen. And please, please, please see your doctor. because I'm 37 years old and I have never been this ill in my entire life. Okay. My sons are 11, 12, and 17. My oldest is having holes forming in the smooth sides of his teeth. Um, his dentist says the lead makes your teeth crumble from the inside out. He's 17. Those aren't baby teeth. My middle child fell off his bike and had two buckle fractures on his wrists, where now, if you look at the x rays, you can now see the lead lines. My youngest, we cannot get his white blood cell count up over 4. Last year, it was 10.9, I believe. He's going to have trouble fighting any of this off. And that could also signal that there's a DNA issue and something wrong with his bone marrow. Unfortunately, lead poisoning can be passed on through boys to their own sons. So I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you this that you need to get tested. You need to get your kids tested. You need to get your parents tested. You, as a parent, need to get tested because you cannot care for your kids if you yourself are falling apart. So you need to take better care of your health. And I'm going to give you some tips. I'm going to show you right now. We have been working with an environmental physician, and this is what she recommended to us. There, you can go to Dale's, you can go online, and there are certain over-the-counter vitamins that you can take. One is a powdered substance called diatomaceous earth. I got mine from Shea Lavelle on Court Street. It's just a bag of, it looks like powder, and I put a teaspoon in my coffee every morning. It's a natural detox. It's basically silica that helps clear out toxins in your intestines. Very, very important because unless you're having something push it out, all of these heavy metals, because it's not just lead either, it's copper, aluminum, tin, all the different bacterias. We know about the E. coli, and Virginia Tech's now looking at Legionella. All of these different bacterias and contaminants in our water, we need to help our bodies get them out. So, first up, one thing that I hope that you can see this, buffered vitamin C crystals. This helps your body push the contamination out. Next up, alpha lipoic acid. This is a very strong liver detoxer. Some of my blood tests have shown kidney and liver damage. So this will help your liver clean itself and try to help break down and filter out some of those heavy metals. For the soreness, because if you have muscle soreness, stiffness, aches, pains, your bones hurt, I'm getting all of these cramps in my calves, and I wake up with the worst Charlie horses and cramps in my feet, which I'd never had before. It seems to be a common symptom. I take turmeric extract. I take that every day. I also put turmeric on all of my proteins, so meats, cheeses, things like that. So you can sprinkle turmeric on, it's delicious. Put a little black pepper on that turmeric, and it helps your body absorb it faster. And I can feel some of my back pain loosen up after I make chicken noodle soup with turmeric. So that's something that I definitely recommend. Curcumin is something you can take that is a very strong form of turmeric. Also, my doctor recommends the Healthy Trinity probiotic. It's a very strong probiotic that will help your intestines filter out everything, which is good. You want to get the bacteria out. So those are some of the natural ways that my family has been detoxing, and it's been working. The blood lead levels are getting low. They're still not zero yet. And I can tell like the kids are starting to feel better in some aspects, but we still have to worry about the concentration issue, getting it out of your brain because copper is also stored in your brain. Again, this isn't the copper you take in vitamins. This is copper chloride and copper sodium, which are chemicals. Again, let me stress that no level of lead exposure is safe. No level of lead in your blood is safe. Your blood lead levels should be 0, and your water lead levels should be 0. Lead is a neurotoxin. It will destroy all the different systems of your body, especially when combined with copper and tin and aluminum, and they will do irreparable damage. So you got to fight back. We've already had the exposure. We can't stop that now. It's happened in the past, and yes, it's scary to find these things out, but go to your doctor and find out where you're at. And once you can do that, you can take these vitamins, and you can also um, do a few other things to help your body help itself. Now, you can go to the EPA's website and look at lead poisoning, eating with a healthy diet, how to fight with it. And also, here's a website which is lead.org.au. It's out of Australia. But the foods you need to look for are foods that are high in vitamin C, thiamine, taurine, which is a vitamin B6, folate, vitamin B12, garlic, and the amino acids methionine and glycine. Basically, you want to look for vitamins B1. They are linked to higher lead excretion, especially from the brain. Vitamin C, which we have the buffered vitamin C, it's consistently linked to lower blood lead levels and reduced organ damage. Vitamin C has been used in chelation therapy. If you have high blood lead levels, your doctor might talk to you about chelation therapy that helps break the lead down and push it out. So that's an issue. Vitamin D, you need vitamin D to help strengthen your bones to help fight how much lead is stored in there. Calcium supplements, same thing. Um, it's good for pregnant mothers, nursing mothers, as well as maintaining a high level of calcium can help reduce the toxicity. Um, of course, low iron, that's going to be your anemia as well, is associated with higher blood levels. So up your iron intake. Zinc, you need zinc because it'll help you reduce lead absorption, and it has positive impacts on your kidneys and liver function. There's other things, curcumin, like I talked about with garlic, good things. There are lots of natural ways. Eating healthy, vitamin D rich foods, vitamin C rich foods. These are and here's a list. Actually, if you go to the website up here, lead.org.au, you'll be able to find the list of foods that help. My kids have learned to love kale, which is fantastic. Kale's a big one. Kale, artichokes, asparagus, very healthy foods. So it is extremely important that you eat better and help reduce the amount of lead you may have in your system. But the biggest thing is to start building healthier habits so you can survive what we've already been through. Again, we're from Flint. We're tough. We've been through a man made disaster. The decisions made by the people that were elected let us down. So we have to pick up and take care of ourselves and support each other. So please share this video with anyone that you know that has lived or still lives in Flint. And please tell them, use filters. Please protect yourself. We don't know how long lead will be in the water. So please do not expose yourself further. And if anyone you know has showered in, drank, cooked with, or used the Flint water from April 25th, 2014 until now, they need to see a doctor. It doesn't matter how old you are. Lead doesn't see an age, it doesn't see an income level, and it really doesn't even matter how much you think you consumed. What studies have shown that lead the size of a grain of salt can spike a child's blood lead levels. So imagine how much was consumed over 16 months. Again, steam is an issue. So if you washed your dishes, washed your clothing, our environmental physician told us that the heavy metals get stored in your clothing and they rub on your skin all day if you washed your clothes in Flint water. And if you sweat, then your body's going to absorb that, especially on your sheets at night. So no one's impervious, not even you, not even the toughest people from Flint. So please use your filters, go see your doctor. You're going to ask for your blood, lead, and copper levels, as well as looking for a complete blood count. Look for basophilic stippling. And if you can get x-rays, look for lead lines. But you need to start looking to see what's going on with your body. And once you know, then you can start taking those vitamins that I showed you, as well as looking up foods that help your body naturally detox. Because at this point, if you're not getting chelation therapy, you're going to have to do it yourself like we've been doing it. And some of these foods are actually pretty tasty. There's really good recipes online. My name is Melissa Mays. I run What Are You Fighting For? And I'm part of the Coalition for Clean Water. And our fight isn't finished. So go to whatareyoufightingfor.com, which is the website I showed you earlier. And what we are going to do is we are going to keep you posted. There's our website up there, whatareyoufightingfor.com. Keep you posted on all of the research as we come up, as well as articles, information, and ways to survive. Also, don't forget to vote and don't forget to speak up and get your voice heard, because ultimately, we're not victims anymore. We know what was done to us. We are strong. We can join together. We have a voice. So it's time to stand up and use that voice, stand up for our kids, our parents, our grandparents, our neighbors, and our friends, and say, this is not okay. And we don't want this to happen to any other city. And that's a big scare, because here we are in Michigan, surrounded by the world's 20% of the world's fresh water, and we got poison water. So, what I want to say is thank you for listening. I hope this helped answer questions and gave you a direction to go in. Please use your filters. Please go see the doctor. If you don't have insurance and you can't afford the testing, please keep up with us, because we're trying to find help for that. We're working on getting you help so that way you can help yourselves as well as your kids. See a doctor. Start taking detox vitamins like I showed you. The biggest thing is eat better. Drink not Flint tap water. Just take better care of your body so that way you can be around for a very long time, and we can always say that the Flint water didn't beat us. So until then, you can chat with me. We're on Facebook, we're Twitter, we're Flintgate on Twitter, and I'm always here to answer questions. Melissa Mays, thank you very much, and have a great night. Stay safe.